Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Rick with Yowza21, and today we are playing Dig Craft Kill. Now this game caught my eye just based on kind of the aesthetics of it, and it seemed a bit interesting. Now it's a bit of a mining simulator, kind of mixed with some dungeon crawling and a bit of crafting. Now that being said, let's go ahead and hop into a run, shall we? Let's start a new game. And as you see, we are here in our little base. So we have a spot that says infusion, crafting, and inventory. Our first objective here is to go to the ruined outpost to dig up some copper. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go to our map. And I'll try my best not to say map every time I click on it. Now we have a little grid here of ore. So we have our copper in here. So we're going to click on that. And each click, as you can see, takes a couple to get those up. Now I do have the sound effects turned off for it, just basically because they kind of get a little tedious after a while, and especially trying to do a video on it. I don't think anybody wants to hear a bunch of like pinging noises the whole way through. So what I'm going to do is gather 15 copper and 15. We got our copper that we needed, so let's craft us a copper pickaxe. That was our first objective. Now we need to craft a weapon and an armor piece. Well, now we don't have enough copper. We have one remaining, so we need to go back to the mine and do a little more digging. Now, each one did take about, 5 swings or so. So with the upgraded pickaxe, it only takes one click of the mouse. We're gonna just fly through this pretty quick, and we're gonna click on all these, get all the ore that we need until we are completely run out. Now that we're out, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, you probably don't have enough copper to do anything. Well, you're wrong there, because we have 62 gold right here. Now, if we spend 60 of that, we can get a whole new mine. So then we can go through the process all over again. All right, I turned on the sound effects just so you guys can kind of hear what I'm talking about here. And done. Now that we're all out of money and we have no more copper to get, let's head back over to the workshop. Now from the workshop, this is where we get to decide what kind of class we want to be. So we can choose an Arcanist, which is kind of a mage. We can do a Berserker. We can do a Guardian or a Stalker. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and craft the Guardian set just because I like it. It suits me, and I feel like it gets me. It's a good set to start off with, and I'll go with the axe. So we got everything crafted up. Now we got everything crafted up. Now we can right click it, and it sends everything to its appropriate spot. Now we're sitting at 250 health. We have, let's see, our health regen is 1 per turn, 25 physical damage, 10 magic damage, or ignores magic armor. And we block for about a total of 38 physical. Now that we're all out of money, and that we're all out of... We're basically out of money. Now, the first objective here is to complete 5 floors in the dungeon, collect 3 of the same infused items, and go to the workshop and infuse a piece of equipment. So we'll head over to the map, and we'll go over to the dungeon. Now, the dungeon is different. Now, from here, we're going to have little increments of enemies come through each floor, and our task is to destroy them. Now, if you hear that, each turn is over, my health regen's going off. So what I'm going to do for the sake of the video is turn that off. I know it sounds a little dull and boring at the moment, but we'll get there. It's fine. I do it for you because I care. So the green slimes are doing magic damage, and they're hitting about 8 damage per hit. Now the goblin here, he's hitting for 12. However, our armor is blocking all that damage, so we don't have to really worry about the goblin here. And each time we kill something, we have an opportunity to get a new material. So what I'm going to do is take down the slimes first. Now all we have left are these little dudes. We'll take down the goblins. Our health is going to slowly go up. They can't do any damage to us, so I'm not too worried about them. All right, now we have a red little slime. Now the red slimes are no fun because they're going to hit for about 20 magic damage. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to block a momentum ability, which blocks all incoming attacks for 1 turn. As you see, we're not doing too much damage on this guy, and he's hitting for 20 each. So we're not going to last too long in this scenario. He also has a little health regen, so he's going up. All right. Hopefully, let's try and block this. And if this works out for us, sometimes it blocks, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not too sure exactly how that works out or the math involved in it. All right, we took down a goblin. Let's take down another. There we go. And one more. All right, so we hit our first objective, which was to get to this floor. Let's block all these attacks. And what we're looking for is we're going to die pretty soon, so. All right, so we did die. Shows what we did. And these are the materials we have. Focus Power Crystal, which we gain 15% magic damage. A Liline Fragment, which adds 5 to magic damage. We got a piece of meat, which increases our damage by 15%. And so we can go through and continue to complete the dungeon until we fill out our materials. What I'm going to do, though, is we've collected 3 of the same, so we can infuse them into 1. So we've done that, and it made a stronger, singular piece of material. All right, let's see. For my little axe here, I think what I want to do is go to the infusion now. And I'm going to infuse that axe with my meat, which will give us 15% more damage. So let's re-equip that. And then we can go over to this book over here, and it shows us all the enemy drops. And we have 108 essence. Now we're going to spend that essence to unlock different enemy drops. So right now I chose the Blinkmoth Wing and the bone. So that's going to add to our total armor, while the Blinkmoth Wing adds 1 extra attack. Now the strategy here for me is go back into the dungeon, and I want to try and farm just a few of those Blinkmoth Wings. Let's go ahead and pull up our inventory again so we can kind of see what pops in and out of our inventory upon killing these guys. As you can tell, we don't get like something every kill. We did get a Ogre Knuckle, which adds 5 to physical damage, which could be nice. All right, we got a bone, mitigate some damage. I believe that's what that did, right? Yeah, total to armor, 15% to the armor. Now I should have attacked the slime since he's doing damage to me. We're down about 100 out of our 250. So we'll come in here, and now we should have several more little green guys. Let's mitigate all those attacks for 1 turn. We got an apple, which increases our max health by 10%. So we're going to slowly but surely get these materials that we need. All right, got another knuckle. And hopefully we're able to get a little bit further each time. So let's mitigate this damage. And I'm going to attack the red guy. Just because he's doing about 20 damage altogether. He's the heavy hitter of the group. We are going to need just a little more attack in order to survive, for some survivability. But we died again. But we did get a Blinkmoth wing. So I'm going to run through one more time in hopes that we get just a couple more good items. We have 104. I'm going to unlock the Null Stone. Now with the Null Stone, that's going to mitigate some of that magic damage. So if we're able to pick up some of those, we should be doing pretty well, because then we can mitigate all the damage from the little guys. At least, here we go. It adds 5 to magic resistance. Let's head back to our workshop, and we can start infusing a few things. So first thing I'm going to do is take my... It doesn't really matter what you put these in. Anything is not going to affect the overall. At least I don't think so. So I put that in there. Now we're going to do 2 attacks. Actually, we should be doing about 3 because it adds 2 to our initial attack. So for the belt, let's see. Let's add some magic damage. Let's infuse that with that. Equip it. The ring, we're going to add some more physical. Infuse that as well. Now, we want some help. I didn't get another one of these, but at least we can mitigate some damage with it. So let's put 2 of these in here. Infuse those. Throw the armor on. Let's do a 10% increase to health and another 10%. Actually, yeah, and another 10%. Our armor's good. We don't have to worry too much about our armor. So let's equip all this and let's organize. Okay, so now we should be looking pretty good. We have 167 essence as well, so we could spend that as we see fit. What I'm going to do is kind of keep it off for a bit, just because I want to kind of focus on the items that I'm getting. I can bog it down the drops and start getting things that I'm not really looking for. So now that we're all equipped up and we're good to go, let's head over here to the dungeon. All right, now when we attack, we're hitting quite a bit more. So we're taking these guys out pretty quick. The little slimes, the green ones, they can't hurt us anymore since we have that mitigation to our magic damage. So the only thing we really have to worry about at this point is going to be the... Combine those. Is going to be the red slimes, because they can do 10 damage to us still. And if they come in a big group, at least 2 of them or so, they could start taking us down pretty quick. But we do take them down in one hit. Well, one combination of hits, I should say. All right, so the next goal is to get to 10, level 10, defeat the boss. And once we do that, let's take him down. And once we take down the boss, it should unlock the next quarry for us. We'll take a look at that quarry as well. All right, so we're getting quite a bit of drops here, so that's nice. I'm going to try and keep everything combined, just so we have enough space in our inventory, as I see things kind of come through. So what I'm going to do is try and mitigate some damage. We're on floor 7. And we can at least take out 2 of these guys. So they're only going to do about 10 damage to me. Alright, and our little momentum ability is recharged again. I'm not sure if I explained the momentum earlier, but when you use it, it takes damage for takes 0 damage for 1 turn. Sometimes I find it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not too sure exactly how it's supposed to work, but sometimes they hit me when I use it. So it's a bit confusing. If it's a math thing, I'm completely lost. If it's a me thing, then I too am completely lost. So as you see, we're getting materials still as we're killing these guys. Go ahead and combine that. And once we have 3 rares, we can upgrade that into an epic. All right, let's take them all down. We got the boss on the next floor. If this is the quickest I get there, if I can beat him, this will be the quickest run that I've done so far. All right, let's combine our meats. And we took him down. Now we have the boss. So let's mitigate some damage. And hopefully take him down. He's going to hit for 35, and he has 2 swings. However, he does have some good evade, 30% evade. So he's probably going to evade a majority of our hits. All right, the boss is almost down, and that's Trolley. Trolley, the old boss. And that, my friends, was my best run. Now we're on to the second little biome here in the dungeon, which is kind of this underground cavern. We have a mushroom. Let's go ahead and hit him. We do absolutely nothing to him, and he whacks us with 1 hit. He does have about 1,800 health. So we do have to consider going in and upgrading. Now this is the iron mine. Normal blocks still take 1 click, but the iron takes about 3. So once we clear this out, we can go check back in the store and see if there's anything we can do to help with that. All right, now we go to crafting and we can get this iron pickaxe. So we went ahead and got that. So the next thing is going to be the obsidian pickaxe. Let's head back over to the mine. The little iron ore mine. So now it's going to be on a kind of a row of 3. And we're going to be able to take out just everything real quick. And if we wanted to upgrade, or not so much upgrade, but to refill this mine, it's going to cost 362 instead of the 60 that the other one cost us. The copper. If we head over to the copper, let's go ahead and refill that, and we can fly through it real quick. And so it kind of makes copper getting a lot easier as well. Instead of the hundreds of clicks we're doing, we're probably only clicking, maybe a total of 50 times or so. As long as you do it correctly. And then I did want to show you this one little aspect of the iron ore. So when we do refill it, the first time it seems it doesn't give us anything, but when we refill it, we're going to get these little chests. And the little chests are going to give us just random pieces of materials that we can use. So it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen very often, I don't believe. But it does happen, and when it does, getting some free materials is nice. So let's clear out this, and we shall go back. Workshop. All right, and now, I don't think I really showed this off either, but if we wanted to increase our inventory here, this is where we do it at. This is the upgrade inventory. So it's going to take 150 copper. It'll give us 10 extra slots, and then it progresses with the different materials each time. So you're going to see maybe copper and iron, or just iron, and you'll be able to upgrade that if we needed more slots as well. All right. So that was pretty much everything that we needed to do. We can go over here. And since this is all going to be craftable by the copper, correct? And so if we move down just a bit further, we can utilize copper and iron to create the same set, but it's going to be a lot stronger. And we're going to get a different weapon as well per thing. So this is how you can kind of progress and get a little bit further up in that game loop there whenever you decide to take on the mushrooms. Now, when you've done everything you wanted to do, if you hit yourself a little roadblock, then you can come over here and you can hit prestige. Now, when we prestige, we're going to earn 98 points. All right. And so we can get more health for 10 prestige points, more damage for 10, and we could start off with the copper pickaxe for 50. That leaves us about 28 left. So I don't think there's anything for 28. No. And that's kind of how that works out with the gameplay loop. You get stuck, you'll do a prestige, and then you just keep on moving. Well, I think I'll end it there. If you liked the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me what you like about the game. Tell me what your favorite items are in the tiers that you can choose. If you feel like picking up the game, this is the demo. You can pick up the demo on Steam. I'll put a link down in the description along with a link with the Discord for the channel Discord if you're interested in things like that. Well, I think that'll do it for the video for today, but I do appreciate you. This is Rick with the Owls21 signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.